And I think yes, guys. Hi everyone. This is Tuesday, and we have an amazing live stream with an amazing founder today. But if you see us right now, write something in the chat and put the like, repost that. That's how you will help us to promote this live stream that we are doing because we chose the time, we prepared to look how beautiful is Anna today. So please, for us, repost and like this space. And of course, if you watching that and you rewatching that, then jump on my YouTube. That's how you will find everything in a good quality. And yeah, you will enjoy your coffee that you're drinking with us, wine, or your breakfast, whatever, with our company, even better because on YouTube we have even better quality. I don't know, Anna, hi, how are you today? You look amazing and I'm so happy to have you. Thank you.
You're so sweet and kind, and thank you so much for inviting me. I was so excited. I haven't really done many many live streams, but I'm getting used to it, and I'm always happy to talk about Vixens and connect with lovely people like you. So thank you.
Let's go, let's go. Thank you so much. Yeah, we still have no notifications for live streams, but usually people join in during the live, they can ask some questions. But yeah, I think partly I invited you today because my friend Kara on X, she's shilling your art all the time, and I've seen that she's a holder and she like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. And she posting, she making some AI edits and everything. Then I saw how Adam Wasteman also wrote a post about you, and he said like, I'm super grateful for the video call we had, and I'm like, oh, this founder, she making like video calls. Then I need to invite her. We can talk. So yeah, you have a great community.
It was funny because he called me without like I had no idea he was going to call. I just texted because he bought a Vixen last week, and I said thank you so much. That's so awesome. And then he called me. My hair was all over the place. I was like, oh. I think bot dialing me. Um, and I picked up, of course, and we had such a lovely conversation because he's joined the community in February, I think. It was really cool to see. He's so down to earth, and then when he heard about the Metavixens and he wanted to get his first one, it was such an interesting process because he wanted a specific one. He didn't just want to buy just whatever. And for me, both as an artist and a founder, it was so interesting, and I really appreciated that. He wanted to find the right one. And when I create them, that's the best case scenario I hope for them when I send them into the world. I hope they have a home where they're like, oh, this is my Metavixen. So it was really, really nice. But yeah, he called. I had bed hair. It was
Oh
it
my
was
God,
lovely.
this is a nightmare for every girl. I think,
I
you know.
know. I was like, no, why didn't you call me yesterday? My hair was nice yesterday. I was I just finished laundry. I was having socks everywhere.
Did he call you just an ex? And that's how you pick up the phone?
No, no,
Oh my
he called me
God.
he FaceTimed me. It was just so lovely. He's so lovely to talk to, and they were just talking about the
Yeah.
project. I told him the Vixen office that I'm currently working on. So it's my little home office, and I'm vixening it up as we speak. But the funny thing, the internet is horrible in there. It's like so I can't. So I would have loved to have a stream over there, but it's like there's no internet in the
Oh
office.
my God,
So
where are you from? Where are you based right now?
I'm in Denmark. I'm in Scandinavia, but I'm Romanian,
Uh-huh.
so
How
from
how's there
Transylvania.
for you? How's there? How's the weather right now there?
It's a bit chilly. It's a bit chilly, but I think it's going to get better. And the thing I love about summer here is just there's so much sunshine. There's so much daylight. And like next month, there's just going to be sunshine up until midnight almost. So I really, really love that. Gives me a lot of energy. I'm a very solar person. So as soon as the sun comes out, I'm like, let's do stuff.
You know, it's very visible from your art that you are a very sunny and very positive person, you know, and you have your own world you live in, and you're showing that in very positive and a bright way. And this is super unique. How, I like to talk on my live streams about background of the artist, of the founder. So how did it like, you know, came up with you, like that you decided to become an artist and in a such way, yeah, too.
So I don't remember a time where I wasn't drawing. Like I think it's one of those things that even when I was a child, I was always drawing. It was my favorite thing to do in the world. Um, so I've always loved that side. And then I ended up being a graphic designer after school. And it was very interesting because you get to that point where, okay, I have this passion, and I have to bring it into the real world, and then figure out a career and all that stuff. And I said, okay, graphic designer should be the closest thing to it. And again, it's a great, it's a great path. And I got a job as a graphic designer pretty early on, which I was really grateful for, and I'm still really grateful for. But I learned pretty quickly, that it's great. You put your skills to use, but at the same time, how do I explain this? You create from your mind, like it comes from here, what you create. And I have this urge to create from my heart, so I had to balance that out in a way. So I kept, I had my job, but I kept drawing in my free time. I had a few personal projects. I illustrated some children's books. I just felt this need to create. It's like the job is great, but I still I have so much, I want to express and to give. And I for a long time I've been drawing girls. That I love the female figure. I love fashion. I love hairstyles. Love your hair. All this stuff. So for me, it was always the easiest way to express all those things. And like if I was on a phone call and I would have a piece of paper and a pen, I would just draw, a girl in a skirt or a dress or whatever. So it's always been the thing that comes naturally without me having to think about it. So I always felt like that was me, and I always enjoyed that the most. So it was very interesting because I actually heard of the NFT space as from the artist community. It had a bit of a bad rep. Actually, it had a bit of no NFTs, blah, blah, blah. And I had no idea what that was. So I was like, okay, I got curious and I wanted to see what it was. And it was strange because I was, I was trying to be neutral. I was prepared to say, okay, this sucks. And then I had like an instant sense of belonging, which was very interesting. And I thought it was like a fluke or something, but of course, as I've been here for 4.5 years, so it was for real. It was very interesting. And I didn't come to the space saying I want to do something. I had no idea what it was. I was just curious, and I set up my wallet. I collected a few things. I love collecting art also in real life. And then I just
This is so interesting because I noticed that a lot of people I know here, they start, including me, we started to collect real life art before we entered crypto. And then like when you enter NFTs, you're like, oh my God, I can buy so many stuff. And it's like, you're addicted to
it's
this.
so easy, right? And you don't have to think about where to put it.
Yes, and you can sell it if you stop liking some, for some time, so you can sell it, you can trade it. And I recently talked with Serk, who is the founder of Normies, and I said like, I think like most of the money I made in this space from the gaming, of course, but second place is art, so you can make money or earn art. And when you discover in that, you're like, oh my God. So you started to collect real art before crypto too, or how it went from you?
Again, amateurly. I like collecting things, but for example, I have like a tutu skirt collection that I really love.
What?
I don't.
What is that?
The ballerina skirts.
Yeah.
I have like 30 of those right now, and I
What?
I
Why?
collect I collect niche things that are very dear to me.
It's very niche. It's very niche. Can you show something? Is it like on your place right now?
I can grab some. I'll grab some at the end of the stream. I'll
Okay.
grab a few. I'll grab my favorites.
Wait, are you
So
wearing them or you just collecting?
yes,
Like,
I
ooh,
wear them sometimes, but I have to be in the mood for them. I like wearing them with like sneakers, with like Nike Dunks or something. I don't like go super, uh, but yeah. So I collect that. I collect some Lego, uh, art books. I love art books, uh, and all kinds of stuff like that. So it's just a bit. I've always had that collectability thing, like you said, and now it's just so nice when you discover this world, like and like you said, you can the buying and the selling part is so easy. You don't have to go through a marketplace and do that and do that. It's all right there. So that's
and
really
you can
awesome.
support so many people. But for example, for me, when I try to support people, I thought like some people, they are like, 12 years old girls by the art they making and stuff. But then we start talking with them after I purchased something, they just DM'd me, and it turned out that this is 35 years old guys, or something like that. And you like, oh my God. And this space is so unpredictable. Like one of my friends, he like, I thought I'm supporting a teenager girl, but it's turned out it's a guy, and he's like 35. I'm like, okay, let's be friends. Okay. And it's so amazing that we can find each other in this place and not depend from, social status or like what we are doing
Yeah.
in lives. Like, and yeah, how I found my friends, I also, we started like, one guy added me in the chat from the one community, and we started to send photos of our apartments, and I noticed like everyone collecting everything, and that's our common trait, and this is so cool. This interesting that you collecting, yeah, this skirts. This is so unusual. how
It
did you
started with
know?
a couple.
uh uh
It started with a couple, and then I became a bit obsessed with finding the right one and the next right one, and then it became a bit of a collection, I would say.
No, this is so interesting. I will discover this after our call, how, like, what traits they have or something like this. This is interesting, actually. Super niche. Super niche. Mm. How did you start to create in this space then? Let me ask you.
So I had when I entered the space, for me, like one of the first impressions was that it was um very masculine. To be honest, at the time I joined in 2022, in the beginning of the year. I had just had my daughter, not even half a year before. Um, so again, it was an interesting time in my life. Um, and then yeah, I just like I said, I draw all these ladies and stuff. So I had this. I really want a PFP, um, of, I don't know, something feminine, something to represent me. And when I had, I couldn't really find something that would really like click, because I wanted something a bit sexy, but not vulgar, just a bit playful,
Mhm.
and feminine. And I couldn't find exactly what it was. And then I thought to myself, you know what, I'll just make my own PFP. That's fine.
I love
um
it.
like, and then I thought, you know what, I'm going to try to make this. I'm going to try to get my art on the blockchain, which is in itself really, really cool. Like for me, that was a measure of success at the time. Like just figuring out how to get my art on the blockchain, because it's so nice. Then it's there forever in perpetuity. That's that got me super excited to learn more about it and stuff. And then I think from the day I said, okay, I want to do something, up to the day I minted the first one. I think it was around a week. And I came up with the name, with the logo, the world behind it, like the visual world behind it, without knowing, I had already been, working on my whole life. So it was just a measure of filtering all
Mhm.
that into this first sample. How would I say? Because it was like a phase one. It was like a trial run. I didn't have, I had to make the project Twitter. It was literally zero. I had no connections. I didn't know anyone, but I was like, this is interesting. So it was just a fun challenge for me. So it was basically, I saw it as an art diary, and I said, okay, I created the base character, like the base outline,
Mhm.
and I created it with allowing myself as much as possible to have as much room as possible to play with, hairs, styles, blah blah blah, blah, but still keep it recognizable. So no matter how much I would change her, you would still know it's part of the same collection.
I'm
And
just,
then I
I'm sorry, I'm just want to screen share and show it while you're speaking, so people who doesn't know, maybe they will know the collection. So I'm listening. I'm sorry. Sometimes, I'm just distracting to
Oh,
show
that's
more.
so cool. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
I want your hair. So
Mhm.
so yeah, I decided to have this, this trial run, this for fun kind of thing, where I drew. I think I had 4 sets of 30 different vixens, and then with giveaways and stuff, it amounted to 130 vixens. So that was phase one, or chapter one, because phase sounds a bit, sterile. But
Wait,
so
wait, wait.
yeah, it was just.
I didn't get it. Can I re-ask you? Like, because in 2022 when you entered the space, and I think like it's some time passed, right? While you like met
Around a
people
week or two.
around a
Around
week
a
or
week
two,
or
and
two.
you started to create your own collection. Oh my God, you're risky.
It was no, but it was interesting because, like I said, I minted the first one. I don't even think I had the project Twitter when I minted it. It was around the same. I joined in January, like the space, and I started to look into it. I think it was. I have a screenshot of it somewhere. I think it's 20 something of January, and I think I decided in the beginning of February. Okay, I'll try something out. Um,
Mhm.
I want to have art on the blockchain. I want to put something that I'm proud of out there, and to put something that represents me. And if not, at least I'll have a PFP. That was the plan. And then on the 12th of February 2022, that's when I first minted, the first MetaVixen. And I minted, I think, 30 at the time.
Mhm.
And then I started, tweeting about it. I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna tweet, hey, blah blah blah. And yeah, slowly, people started to buy them. I think they were around the $20 or $30 at the time, and I thought that was really cool. I remember I was like, oh my god, somebody got it. It was it was really interesting because I had my graphic design illustrator background, but here, that was a completely different thing. It was like I was starting a new chapter kind of thing, because again, it's it's such an interesting space. It's like, oh my god, somebody's buying my art. It's a pressure. It's an interesting pressure, but it's like, oh my god, I have responsibility now. I want to do good for this. There's somebody actually behind me on this. And it just kept fueling me to do more, and to grow more, and to express myself more. It's been just so interesting, because the space has this like really fast-paced thing motion, and I knew from the beginning that what I have to offer is on the slow side of things. It's a slow paced. It has, the emphasis is on handcraftship.
Mhm.
It's not on the result. It's on the handcraftship. It's on the value of hand drawing, and that, because to me, that's very important also, in the digital world. That for me matters. Like I value somebody's time and effort. And again, um yeah, so it was very, personally, it was very beautiful for me to see that, that it is still appreciated, in that sense. So yeah, it's just been crazy. And then after the first 130 vixens, were finished, we had quite a handful of holders. And it's, the first iteration of the vixen community, because I think, and I've learned now, so that, community doesn't build overnight. It takes a long time to really curate and to sync up. And now we have this beautiful, beautiful group of people from all over the world, that, they all have so many different, careers, interests, and ages, everything. But at the same time, we're synced up by, the love for art, the love for collecting. It feels like we dance, to the same tune.
Mhm.
uh and it's really, really beautiful, because we known each other, for some of us, for years now. It's crazy.
This is so interesting, and you answering also almost like on all my questions, because you joined the space in 2022, and we know that collections back then, of course, they was selling good, but still not as good as before, right? So you wasn't on the peak of everything. You joined and just yeah, faced probably with the people like starting to lose their trust maybe in the space and everything. So you actually probably grinding hard to get your collectors. And I see some artists watching us right now. Empty Soul Prime, he asking, tell Ira, what kind of boars do you like more? What is boars?
Borscht. Oh my god, is that a because I'm from Romania. We have borscht. If I think that's borscht. I don't.
Oh,
I'm not a particular fan of borscht. I think
ah,
I've had borscht.
yeah, he's from Romania as well. Yes.
I'm not hating on borscht. It's just not my go-to meal.
These stereotypes, come on, guys. Yeah, but MJ Soul Prime, he's an artist as well, by the way, and I'm sure, like for them, it will be interesting to know how did you start to like find your first collectors and people with who you would like to work, because we know, like, especially for the women in the space, it's not so easy, guys. You think like everyone wants to support us, but it actually doesn't work like
No,
that.
you get so much hate sometimes. You're like, oh, you're a woman, so you get stuff handed to you or something. And you, no, you don't. You do not.
Yeah, and if you're not strong enough, you receive hate. If you're strong enough, you're a competitor, and they hate you for that. Like, what's going on? So, guys, it's not easy for girls in this space at all.
So the first collectors, it was interesting because, like I said, for me, I knew when I saw, I had the vision of Metavixens. I had, in my mind, it was very clear, and I said, okay, I'll start building brick by brick by brick, but I knew it's going to be, a lifelong thing. But
Mhm.
I knew that I had a commitment to do this because this is what I love to do. But at the same time, how do you can tell people you're going to be here, but that doesn't mean anything, as I also found out from all the rugs I've been I was so naive when I started. I was like, if people said something that they're going to do this and that, I literally believed them. I was like, that's
Mhm.
amazing. And then 2 weeks later, they're gone, and stuff like that. So I understood quickly that, okay, trust is a sensitive topic here. So I just said, okay, I'll with time, right? That's all I can do. And I never promised, anything crazy to anyone. I said, I'm here to create art.
Mhm.
Um, and if you support this and you like this, then I'll give you more art, because I created the exclusives collection at the time. And the first few holders actually got a few illustrations gifted to them. So there are a few one of ones in the exclusives. But afterwards, that collection became basically the gifts for the holders. And since August, I think, of 22, it's been a monthly setup. So every month I create an illustration and I send it to all the holders. And sometimes there's bonus illustrations and so on. So again, I was upfront from the beginning. I love doing this. I love creating this art. If you if you get this, you're gonna just get more art. And it was really interesting to have this approach. Again, it was a bit intimidating, with everything moving fast and that and that and that. But I was like, okay, this is what I have to offer, and everybody has their journey, and I'm not, going to compare to another project, or because it's completely different. Everybody has their own thing to say and their own way to do it. And it was very beautiful to actually meet people who loved what I do. I think it's very humbling to have that, to have to not have anything and then to have an idea to make it and then somebody likes it. It's to me it's one of the best feelings in the world, and I'm so grateful that I'm still here after so many years, and I'm more inspired and more motivated than ever before. Honestly, I'm just I think there's been over 1,000 vixens in the collection, and I'm still so excited just to draw the next one. And yeah, it's just this. I don't want to get emotional, but it's been it's been better than I could have ever hoped for, especially in terms of community. I had no idea what community even was. It was such an abstract concept, and now back to that feeling of belonging. It's just so great to connect with so many cool people.
That's basically your first business you started, right? And you didn't think about this as a business from the start. So when you realized that things getting serious, with all this that you explained it, I think like there was a moment when you're like, oh, I actually can make it like my lifetime project, and like I don't know if you had even before this. How the syndrome calls, like when you doubt in yourself and everything that you are doing.
Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome, yes. So
I have that every day.
yes.
I have that so often. I'm like, no. To me, I
Mhm.
think I've always felt this need to create something without knowing what it was. Like it's very hard to explain. And then when the vixens came into play, I knew it was it. And of course, like I said, when collectors started coming, then I was like, okay, the responsibility is greater, and I want to do the best I can for these people who are invested in what I do. But I also had the feeling that I will be doing this no matter what, because it's what I want to do.
Mhm.
Um, that's the feeling I had when I was drawing the first few ones. I wasn't drawing them with the intent of I hope somebody buys them. I just wanted each of them to express this fragment of identity or of personality. Because like I always saw them not as assets, but as as characters, as that have something to say, and each of them had something to say. And because sometimes I get the question like, who's my favorite and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
whichever I'm drawing at the moment, she's my favorite because I'm putting everything I can into her. And I want, if you close your eyes and you pick each, no matter what, no matter which one, I want her to be able to represent the collection. I want, to be proud of her. So I'm putting everything I can into each one. Yeah. I
Oh,
can't believe it's been so many now.
I really love
And
how passionate you are about what you're doing, and this is amazing. And it's so interesting to getting better, like getting in general, because everything that you speak in, it's like so different from my experience talking with other founders, and it's interesting to understand you. So, do you consider yourself more right now as an artist, or you consider yourself as an founder? And Yeah, if this
I
question is
think
clear.
I think it's been a bit of a balancing game
Mm-hmm.
with this. And sometimes I have, and I tell the community also, like, this week I'm drawing. Like, I want to draw, and of course I'll still post, I'll still be around, I'll still do the spaces, but my focus will be the artist part of things. And sometimes, I'll have to, have a week or two where I just have meetings and plan and organize and push that project part of things. um, but of course the art itself has been taking a huge part of my of my spare time, which again, I'm not complaining. I love doing it. I'll never complain about having too much to draw. um because since basically since April
Mm-hmm.
ish, 2022, almost every second week, I've been releasing new ones, because that's how the collection has been getting to the size that it is today.
Mm-hmm.
uh so we've had those bi-monthly drops for a long, long time, and now we are actually sunsetting that drop format very soon. I think we're close to it, but we're at when we get to Vixen 969, then there will no longer be drops every couple of weeks and so on. So we are actually approaching the end of a chapter, because we had chapter one, like the sampling, the trial run, and now we've had um, this big chapter of continuous Vixen drops, and it's been so uh, you know so dear to my artist heart. But at the same time, it's a very exciting time now, because I can get the founder hat out a bit more often and actually push towards certain things for the project, for the brand. I want to build a brand. I want to continue building and expanding the Vixen verse, how we call it, and
Hmm.
it and do some exciting things and keep building that. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting summer. Um, definitely.
Oh, this is so interesting. So it's so close, guys. We are so close to something really new in the project and your personal journey, as I understand. And yeah, what's goals? And when the goals in your project like appears, when you understood like, okay, I need to plan something. I need to, collaborate maybe with other people, with other projects. So when does it appear in your life?
Um, I've I've been going a lot after gut feeling all throughout this journey, actually. And I think it's
Mm.
how do I say, it's very it's a lot about balance, and it's a lot about figuring out what you can invest your energy into, because there's so many great opportunities a lot of times, but you can't take them all. You can't say yes to everything. Otherwise, saying yes to something will say no to a lot of other things, and so on. So I'm the kind of person that wants to do everything. So for me, it was a big challenge to
Mhm.
learn how to balance it, because in the beginning, I was not sleeping. I was like, putting everything I can mentally, and I realized very soon that I have to, for the sake, obviously for my sake, but also for the sake of the project, if I want this to be sustainable, I have to find a way to take care of myself. So it's actually interesting, because I feel like Web3 propelled me into my personal growth journey and learning more about that, and learning how to take care of myself, weirdly enough, because it was a shock, right? Like all the stuff that can happen, and then you get FOMO just by going and taking a nap, and all that. And I still have
Very
days like that. I still have days like that. I was supposed to have a meeting last night, and then I said I might not be able to make it. It was a group chat, and then I fell asleep. I was like, no, no. So I still have days like that, but I feel like with collaborations and stuff, it's a lot of organic things that have happened before, and especially in the last couple of years. Like, for example, we would have a community that we really vibe with, like we had the shredding sassies, for example. So we
Yeah.
have people in both communities, we have the same values, we have the same the same energy, and then we're like, okay, a collaboration would make sense, yes. So it's been like that recently and lately, and not starting with the goal of collaborating, but starting with literally just having a great time in Web3, and making these long lasting connections, because you know I think there's some great ones that have been created now during the bear, and it's just so beautiful to see.
Oh my God, you have such an amazing vibe, and I don't know, such a feminine, great energy. You want to stuck around, It just I really enjoy in your company right now, and it's something that I really miss. It's a pleasure to watch it you. It's a pleasure to listen you, and I just enjoying your art right now. So thank you so much for this time, and. I really agree with you. When you're acting from your gut, you somehow making the most like right decisions in your life. Even it's like not logical. I learned actually how to listen myself, and if something came up to my head, I'm trying to implement it right now. To not think about this, endlessly. And it's because I think I heard Kanye West when he said like. God sending you some thoughts, and if you're not implementing that, you receive punishment, and you will think about this endlessly, and that's how, with a lot of my plans actually, because I want to create, like, for example, comic book, and I still thinking about it daily, but I can't decide to make it, but when something appear right now, I'm trying to implement it like immediately. So I agree like highly with this gut feeling. And I want to ask you, like, I feel like you're a very spiritual person, and like, I don't know, what's your vision, what's your views on that? So I would like to ask you about your personal, like, this relationships with the universe, how you watch it this.
I'm still figuring that out a lot, but I've always been a bit on the side of trusting the universe, of trusting your gut, of things will work out, even when you don't think they are, you don't have the full picture, and trusting that, and having a positive attitude, not a toxic positivity, but choosing to see the good things that are happening to you, because sometimes you can be focused on the negatives, and it feels like it's just negatives, because it feels like the algorithm in your brain will just sort out all the negatives, and that's all you'll see. But the good thing is, it also works with the opposite. So when you have that confidence, that in your nervous system, that things will work out fine, then life feels easier. So I think, and I my mom has been great at helping me with this, even when I wasn't really aware of it, but she would she would tell me, and at nighttime she would say, wonderful things will happen to you tomorrow, and I was like, what is she talking about? How is
Oh.
she but I do that to myself now, and I also do it to my daughter, and now I get why. It's because you wonderful things will happen to you, because they do, you just sometimes don't see them. And I don't know, there's just a lot of magic in those words that I now that, that I now better understand than I did back then. But I think it's just about a lot of, I'm not sure if I answered your question fully,
No, no, no. You're
but
answering, and you're answering in your way. It's not something right and wrong. And this is, I just, like, thinking how blessed I am, because I meet these kind of thoughts like all the time recently. And first was Adam, by the way, Weisman. He said on his interview ones that you need to stop paying attention to negative stuff. And if you will see our space differently, you will see that new people come in like every day. If we are often focusing on people who left, and a lot of people left, like this is sad part
Yeah.
for everyone, I think,
Of
here. But a lot of new people joining, a lot of new people purchasing their first NFTs, and all the time on our timeline, also like, I just joined Azuki, I just joined this and this and
yeah,
that.
yeah,
And only after his words, I started to notice that. Then I watched the interview with Gary Vee, and he said the same. Like, you can focus like Russia going nowhere, like USA going nowhere, and you stuck with this negative news. But if you will watch, like, from the side, humanity, like, moving forward
yeah,
all the time. Yeah. And now
yeah.
you speaking about that, and this is like, cool, miracle. Let's say so. Interesting.
How can I say it now? I'll still have days when I forget, to do it, but
Mhm.
it does help a lot. Or when something makes you happy, when something small or random in life like makes you happy, like hold on to that feeling a bit. Don't just let it. If something, whatever it is, seeing a cloud or whatever makes you that, gives you that nice happy feeling, just hold on to it just a bit longer. I think that changes a lot, because everything in life is perspective, at,
Mhm.
at the end of the day. And but yeah.
A lot of people, they started to create from negative feelings, and I think this is amazing, right? That they are starting to create from like their traumas, and I'm including,
Mm.
I like to reflect as well. What's pushing you to create? Like, is this is just some, visuals that comes to you and you started to draw, or some events in your life or something, inspiration?
uh,
Yeah. What's the
I
inspiration? Where it's come from?
the, the main general inspiration, I feel like it's how, in a way, how I see the world. I see the world as this colorful, magical place. So I want to share that, with everybody. And in terms of like micro inspiration for certain particular pieces, I find that everywhere. Like once I started, the drawing vixens, I can see everything as a vixen. It's almost a curse. I'm like, somebody will show me something like, oh my god, that could be a vixen. I'm like, what are you talking about? Um, so it's
Not gonna lie, I agree with you. I see on Vixens right now, and I see everything on the Vixens as well. Like, I don't know, it's somehow changing the way you see the world, you know? And I thought about this before our interview that, oh my God, she created her own world and it's so visible, you know? Like, it somehow like started to connect even with your own world just because you watched this picture. I don't know, this is some miracle. But we have a guys here asking about customs. Customs.
Ooh, Fred. Hi, Fred. Oh, so the customs. Okay, the customs are a really fun part of the collection, because so once a collector holds 13 vixens, they
Mhm.
get a free custom, that we get to work on together, which is really, really, really fun. And for me, it's one of my favorite parts, because the collector is not just a collector. He or she becomes part of creating the collection itself. And it's just so much fun. I never know what they're going to choose. We've had like pop characters, movie characters. We have a few holders who chose to have their wives captured as a
Oh,
vixen. It's
cute.
I love that. It's we have a lot of so many interesting things. And to me, it's just so personal and it's so nice. And when I look at them, it's like, oh my god, that's that holder or that holder. And it's just, I don't know, it's just so cool, because they come on the other side of the wall a bit. um and we build it together, like hands on, and it's just so great. And of course, if and the custom holders, they get their custom in the collection, and they also get an additional piece of art as an exclusive every month. So every month I draw the holder airdrop, and then I draw the custom holder airdrop. So there's at least two pieces that I send out.
To everyone, like airdrop, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
this is amazing.
it's
This is such a natural way to hold, like, if we talk on the language of the business part, it's such a cool, natural way to hold the floor because if collectors want their own personal art piece, and we know that all collectors, they're crazy about such opportunities, right? This is not people who like want to flip NFTs once and that's it, but they want to be involved in the project, and you created such an amazing system, and like my opinion, this is perfect, that you give people opportunity to create with you, if they respect you, enough, if they like admire you, and if they actually want to be involved by holding your art. This is so cool.
thank you.
What's
And I
uh
think we have 60 customs in the collection now, which is crazy. 60 something, because we started, with the first one in 2022, and I was thinking to myself, oh, will we ever have 10 or so? And then, oh my god, it's
what's
crazy.
your the most bravest plans on the collection? Do you want to sell it? Like, because I can see that this is look like some, how it's called, like Brax uh, dolls,
Yeah,
Brad,
the blood stone.
or something
So
like that. Like Sailor Moon. They can be a character for some show.
I would love that. I would love that. I think the first thing I ever, the first thought I had as a child, as me as a grown up, when somebody asked you what you want to do and blah blah, I remember because I was watching, the Dexter's Lab, Powerpuff Girls at the time. I was like, I would love to make my own cartoon. I remember saying that, and that recently came into mind. You know, so again, I've been building the Metavixens, and actually we've been building the Metavixens because the community has been right there around me. We've been building the Metavixens as a brand, as an IP, as a standalone
Mhm.
brand. So the opportunities from there are not limited. It just has to make sense with where do we want to push it forward. Right now, one of my priorities for the summer is optimizing, the infrastructure part of things and relaunching the website and things like that, like the basic stuff that I kept pushing for so long because I was drawing for so long, and that's the thing. I was like, I wish I could. Um, so now I want to take care of all of that, and have a clear representation of the project for people who are not familiar with NFTs or with MetaVixens, that they can find everything there. They can, and so on. So that's my priority number one. And then I want to see what would make sense for us, because a
Mhm.
Web2 expansion would be super fun. It has to be done with the correct intention and in the right way. But there's
Mhm.
definitely, of course, that would make me the happiest to get to that point, and to get the vixens out there, and just, yeah.
Web 2. This is so interesting. Because my next question would be to you. What do you think about many projects right now in Web 3? They went to AI, right? And they create their stories with AI and stuff. And I think from one side, this is good for Web 3 hype because people started to believe in these dreams, even if we are ate enough of this, plans of founders. We still, when you see something new, like they're doing something, and I think this is good for Web 3 hype. but Web 2 people, they hate AI, and I think this is bad for Web 2 actually, and like future of the project. So I don't know. I have this opinion right now. So what do you think about your Web 3, your Web 2 way, and about AI production or?
I am completely AI illiterate. Unfortunately, I am to a fault. I have no idea how to use AI, and but I can see where AI can be used to, for example, the community can create some really nice content around it and things like that. So they base art and they create what they want to, and they can have fun with their IP, which is great. But I think one of the core values of the Metavixens is the craftsmanship
Mm-hmm.
and the value of still having that. So it kind of goes against it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very interesting age we live in, right? Because and again, in terms of other projects using it's always they know best why they made those decisions. So it's a bit hard to to know without a specific context.
Mm-hmm.
I think AI is very much out there right now, and I don't think we can put it in
Yeah.
a box. It's out, uh, but I think it comes down to the community and having certain guidelines about representing the brand and saying, okay, we use AI, but to what extent, and not letting it overtake and letting it overshadow or go out of control.
Mm-hmm.
um, so I think it's about that, about having a bit of community alignment about how we're going to use it. And I think we've been great with that, because again, there's been a lot of great content and things like that, and getting the brand out there without compromising its visual identity, which has been great. So
Mm-hmm.
I, gue- yeah, something
Uh,
like
so
this.
No, no, I agree with you. Like mostly in my life, I can find the place for AI as well. I'm the same as you. I'm like, okay, everyone using that, but and I feel like I'm trying to be on the wave, but it's so unnatural for my lifestyle, because
Yeah,
mostly what I'm
same.
what I'm doing for a living is something that I'm enjoy. So I'm blessed right now, right? So to delegate it to AI is to remove some joy from your life, and I'm trying to find the way how I can use AI, but I'm like
Yeah,
nothing coming to
I
my head. I
know.
don't know.
I wish you could do my laundry and stuff, but I
Yeah.
know.
So how do you see your Web 2 way, and what do you want to like? Do you see some audience that you want to attract, or in general, just interesting for you to get into Web 2?
Well, that's the thing. I think it would come down to the scope of I feel like everything about Vixens and the whole journey has happened over a long time, organically and with intention. And I think that would be a very important part of it. It has to be the right opportunity and have the right intention, the right scope. And then, because again, the target audience can be wide and like, again, uh I don't want to limit it. I feel like I started this as
Mhm.
a symbol of woman empowerment, so to speak, again, for myself. But it's not for the female gaze or male gaze. It's an expression of of playfulness, I would say. um so I again, it would depend a lot on the scope of the particular project. So it'll be to define a target audience, or so to speak. It's a bit early, but I have big dreams. I have big dreams, and I have a lot of passion for this. It's just interesting to see which doors will open, or which way the waves will, will take us. But I'm excited, and I am so grateful, for the awesome community that has made it all possible. And yeah, I have no words. Those guys are amazing. They show up every day, they post, they show love. It's truly the best part, about all this crazy journey that it's been. And I'm again, it feels like this. I feel like this spring I've had the same feeling that I've had when I started the project. Like something is about to like begin. um and I'm really really grateful for that, really grateful to still wake up so excited and inspired, doing this. And again, like my gut feeling was right. I can't do this for the rest of my life without being like, oh no, I'm excited.
Oh my God, I love your energy so much. It's so unique and it's so, like addictive. Like, I don't know, you have some freedom in you, free spirit. At the same time, you're successful, you're beautiful. So it's a pleasure to communicate with you. I'm not surprised that your community loving you so much and supporting you, because like I feel like they're, like addicted to you as well. I understand you guys. This is amazing to talk with Anna. And yeah, like probably, like I don't know, you're like, I can't predict even, like usually I understand people, like but with you I can't even predict your next answer or something. But I wanted to ask you, do you have some role models that you're using to inspire you, or you just feeling like something in your gut and you're following that? And yeah, do you have some examples that you would like to
I feel like we can all inspire each other in so many ways, and that
Mhm.
there's not a particular person or a particular thing. I feel like being part of the community as a whole, and being also present in certain spaces or things, it can inspire. Like I've had some crazy moments the past few weeks where I don't know, I just ended up randomly missing my bus, and then ending up in a space that led up to a super interesting discussion that led up to that. And to me, that's what I find inspiring. That's what I feel like we can all get inspired by each other if we really open up, and we can all have so much to learn from each other. And that's what I love about Web3, right? Because it's so easy to make, to talk to people in different areas, in different domains, and learn so much. Like I feel like I want to be a sponge and take on as much information as possible while being here. It's just, yeah, it's so again, I won't name one particular person. I feel like everybody, like there's so many amazing founders that have been kicking ass, um and not just now. They're now that they're getting their flowers, but they've been kicking ass for years now, through the bear, through everything, and now you can see them shining. And it's different kinds of projects. They have different, different goals, but at the same time we all share the same great goal and direction. And I think is just so, that's what I find super inspiring. Like when I see projects really winning, or like celebrating something, like yes, we're doing that. And I feel like it's something we should be really excited for, and celebrate with them, because it's a win for all of us, right? It's a win for all of us to have this kind of elevated energy in the space.
Mhm.
um
Love this answer. It's so you inspiring from the community and everyone in universe. And I love people who celebrating wins with the space. No competition, because competition it's always for something small actually. And when you
yeah,
collaborate with yeah, with the community, you actually, think much wider than people who trying to compete with each other all the time. So I love to hear it. And wait, I wanted to ask something. The last. Wait, it's in my mind. It's in my mind. Yeah, yeah. About for people who want to be a part of something that you're building, how they can do that? Like, what's the way to purchase NFT right now from the main collection to like maybe you making commissions, maybe like something else to buy some merch or what? How people can be connected with you?
We've always we have, I'll explain a bit the ecosystem, but
Hmm.
I feel like we've always encouraged people also because, for example, we have Thursday spaces where you can come learn more about the project and hang out with the community. So for that, I think a good place to start would be joining our little Discord, and then you can find the links to the spaces there and everything, and you can get in touch a bit with the community and then see see how they are, and they're awesome. I can vouch for all of them.
Hmm.
And again, being a holder means having holding one of one vixens from the main collection. But like we always say, being part of the Vixen community is not just that. You can literally GM with a Vixen you like, or we have a lot of exclusives that we send out there and things like that. Like, just anybody who supports the art in any way, we feel like, okay, you're part of our community. We do not gatekeep. We're actually quite quite genuinely welcoming because there's just so many things happening out there, so many projects. I'm particularly grateful when somebody takes their time to either make a post or just say good morning, or share something they like from the collection. uh when there's so much more out there, I'm like, thank you for so much for doing this. So again, it's very easy to join the the Vixen community as a great ecosystem. um and again, if you are a holder, then you'll continue receiving monthly art. You have access to giveaways in Discord. We have some really fun holder giveaways at the moment. But again, come to our Discord, join some spaces, and then you can get to know us. There again, the people are so lovely. The people, the people, so the community, the wonderful Vixen community. Everybody is just the sweetest.
Hi, Dijon Mike. Thank you so much for supporting. He's amazing. Yes.
He's so nice. He's so fun. He always photoshops those photos of himself into things. Are so funny.
Yeah, he's dope. Mike, thank you so much for supporting us all the time. And yeah, the last thing I'm asking from everyone, and I will ask that from you as well. Short questions. You can answer shortly. You can answer, long answer as well. Yeah. So first thing, complete centralization for the whole world or complete decentralization? What would you choose?
Number two. Number two.
That's
I,
cool.
I
Let's do
think
this.
right now.
Okay. Doxing for everyone or everyone undoxed. What do you think about
Oh,
doxing?
I'm team dogs, of course, obviously. But again, I fully understand why some people choose not to dox. For me, it was you know part of building the trust. It came as a I didn't even think about it. I was like, yes, of course, I'm going to show who I am. It's hard enough to gain people's trust, with showing who you are. Even more so the opposite. So for me, it was a definite docs. But so yes, team docs. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
If you met Satoshi Nakamoto in person, what question would you ask?
Do you like boobies?
Oh my God, I told you guys, this is so unique. I can't predict nothing in this live stream. Who do you think they are? Who do you think he is or she is? Do you have some, something?
I have I I have no clue. I read some of the articles. There was like, oh, it might be this, it might be that. I think we have no clue. I think we'll never know.
Okay.
I think it's a woman. I hope it's.
If you have unlimited amount of money, what art would you buy?
Ooh, ooh. Still the art I like. I don't think I've been thinking about this. Like with, I feel like there's, the amount of money you need to be comfortable, and then everything else is, it's great because then you can perhaps buy bigger pieces of the art you love, but at the core of it wouldn't necessarily change.
Mhm.
It wouldn't change the structure of my life. I would probably I would probably buy a Vixen villa for the community, like an actual Vixen villa, and then they can choose the art.
I like
that would
you
be
guys.
that
I
would be
like
like great.
you. With such a founder, you like her, guys, because she's really believing in her project and speaking about this, even in theory. This is so cool. Okay, last one. I'm asking my guests to record message for themselves in a year, and maybe a year after, if you will watch this live stream, maybe, or we'll meet again, you just can speak with yourself. So, what would you like to say to yourself in a year? And let me put you on the big screen because that's what I usually do.
Oh no, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Wonderful things will happen to you. I'm gonna keep it to that.
Awesome. Anna, thank you so much. Once again, it was like amazing hour, and your energy is so unique. I just want to I already want to rewatch this interview just to learn something from you once again to understand how you have this free spirit, but at the same time you are so I don't know, everything is perfect in you, I think, and yeah. Thank you so much for joining, for being such an open soul. And yeah, I hope we'll connect once again one day. So yeah, thank you.
I'm,
We'll be
I'm
happy.
sure. I'm sure we will. This was fantastic, and I'm always a bit nervous before having a conversation with someone new. And this was such a lovely discussion, and I appreciate it so much. I appreciate the invite, and I appreciate your time and your energy, and it was just beautiful. And I'm very grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And guys, thank you so much everyone for supporting this live stream. And yeah, super grateful because without you wouldn't be like these live streams and nothing happened. So thank you so much and see you later on the timeline.